What's going on, everyone? Is back again with another video. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the Colorado Rockies. Obviously, once again, the Rockies did not have the best season in 2024, but going into 2025, definitely going to be an interesting season for this team, but I think it's going to be pretty similar to last year. If you just take a look at the last 5 seasons of the Colorado Rockies, they've been pretty bad all these years. I mean, the last 5 years really haven't been good. 2021, they actually did win a couple more games, even than their 2019 year, so there was some upside there, but the last 3 seasons for sure has just been all downhill. I mean, losing over 100 games is still not ideal, and yeah, it just hasn't really been positive. I mean, we haven't really seen too much free agency from this team. I feel like the Rockies are more of, a draft heavy team. I mean, we've seen this the last couple of seasons, I feel like, especially with some of the guys they're going to call up this season. And they have made a couple trades here and there, not a whole lot, but they really don't get big stars or try to do anything like that in free agency. And yes, when you are a bad team, it is hard, don't get me wrong, and I know they're trying because they've said a lot of things publicly about their free agent troubles and things like that. So yes, they are trying, but everyone on the outside looking in, it just doesn't really look like it. Yeah, as we can see, 2024, 61 and 101 losses, so still pretty terrible, last in that NL West. And obviously, I feel like that's the most competitive division right now. I mean, all 4 teams besides the Rockies look really good. Obviously, with the Dodgers looking good, the Padres looking good, the Diamondbacks looking pretty good, and the Giants, still being that 81 and 81 team. And then the Rockies kind of always fall short. You gotta remember, this is a team that makes the playoffs through the wild cards, so they still never won a division, so you gotta keep that in mind. Yeah, just unfortunately, not really good seasons, and I think that's gonna continue. So let's break this team down real quick. Now, there's one tweet I want to show real quick about this. Now, this guy on Twitter, he always loves the Rockies. He's been talking about them for a while, and this tweet actually came out today when I'm recording this video, and it's about Juan Soto. So he always emails the owner, as you can see right here, and he kind of gives his thoughts, and he actually always responds to him, which is pretty funny. But yeah, he said Juan Soto wants to stay on the East Coast, so the Rockies are unfortunately out on Juan Soto. And if anyone thinks this is fake, this was his thing last year, saying they should trade for Ohtani, and then Momford responds, he's a free agent at the end of the year, but it would be a fun couple months. So this is kind of funny. But yes, this guy is legit, and I guess they're out on Juan Soto, and that's what I'm saying. The owners are trying. We can see the owners are trying to try. Let's take a look at their top prospects right here. They have a couple guys that are going to get called up in this year, so it's going to be a very interesting season. Obviously, their last 2 draft picks are still 2026 guys. They're going to need some more time in that minor league system, which doesn't surprise me. A prospect I'm excited to finally have into the league is Zach Veen. Now, I've watched him play at AA, and he's looked pretty solid. I gotta say, he's been in the minors for a while. I mean, that's the big thing. He's been in the minors for a minute. He did get called up to AAA last year. Only batted at 220. It wasn't very good. Only 21 games. But yeah, just really wasn't good. But even in AA, I feel like he has good games, and he's definitely a solid outfielder. At least the times I've seen him play, I really liked watching him. And honestly, I think it is his time to get called up. Now, he's one of these guys, I feel like it's going to be like a Brandon Rogers, where he's going to really struggle early on and then kind of get it towards the end of his, time in the MLB. Because we've seen that with Brandon Rogers. He came into the league. He wasn't the greatest player, wasn't the best, struggled a little bit, and then found his way and actually being a decent second baseman for the squad. But yeah, he was all over in 2024, rookie ball, high A, AA, AAA. So definitely excited to have him in the league, and I'm excited. He was their 2020 first round pick, so I'm definitely excited to have him up. I'm definitely excited for Zach Veen to get up here. You guys can see all the stats on screen. He's the number 3rd in the Rocky system right now. Now, coming in at number 4 for the Rocky system, who has an ETA of 2025, is Fernandez. Now, once again, he's also a guy that struggled at the AAA level. At AA, he's looked very solid. At AA, he's looked really good as well. And he's actually a fun player to watch. I also watched him in that AA level. He's a very fun player to watch. And he always was a good hitter. That's the thing. I think he always DH'd or played left field, I'm pretty sure. But he was always a decent hitter. Once again, when he got to that AAA level, stats obviously dropped off. Obviously not the same sample size in 2024, but you got to take that into factor. But I feel like these guys could start in AAA again and then kind of get up like halfway through the season, which is something I could see. So definitely excited. He's number 4 in the Rocky system. And then everyone else is pretty much all over the board. I mean, kind of take a look right here, at least the top 10. We got a couple guys, 2024 guys that came up, 2026. And then we got some 27 and 28 right here. So they're kind of all over the board. So should have at least 2 players that get called up this year from their top 10. We'll kind of wait and see how they develop moving forward. Obviously, Moore was in the league this season, right? He had that little bit time with the Rockies. Only got 10 games though. So we'll see if he's back. We'll see if he goes to AAA, because he went to AA straight to the Rockies. So I thought that was pretty surprising. I didn't think he was the best in that AA either. Like, his teammates were definitely better than him. So that's why it was pretty surprising to me when I saw the call up. Because I think I saw him in May, and then he got called up almost at the end of May or into June of 2024, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, it was very weird, but we'll see how he does moving forward. But this is the Rockies list. We'll kind of wait to see how these guys players develop. But yeah, let's talk about these contracts as we move forward. The contracts are very interesting. Obviously, we know Bryant is here for 4 more seasons on $27 million. I mean, he absolutely fleeced the Rockies, I gotta be honest. He hasn't even played a full season with this team, the 3 seasons he's been with them, which is kind of crazy. Obviously, Ryan McMahon has 3 more years left on his contract. And then we got a couple guys. Obviously, Tovar's extension is in here now, so he's got that massive extension for all those seasons. We got Kyle Freeland here for 2 more seasons, then with the vesting option, which I imagine would go through. And then we got Martez at 10 mil. And then we got Centennial. I think that's how you pronounce his name, Centennial. I'm not sure. He's here for another 2 seasons with that team option. I imagine that will get extended. And pretty much everyone else is on arbitration, as you can see. They don't have a ton of players contracted, but they got a couple. And then obviously they still got to play for Nolan Arenado's contract. It's $5 million for the next 2 seasons of the trade that they did. They're still paying this back as well. And looking at the money for 2024, it's at $89.7 million right now. They think it's going to get up to $117.2 million, which I could definitely see with some of the arbitration guys and the arbitration costs and all that stuff. But this is currently what the Rockies are looking like with contracts. So obviously still one of the bottom spending teams in the league as it stands. But let's take a look at their active roster that they have right now. Obviously, we look at the starting pitching. It's still not the greatest. I mean, the pitching is tough in Colorado, right? We've mentioned this a lot of times before. And then we kind of still have, Kyle Freeland as their ace here. He's still been here a lot of times. The other guys are really not impressive, I'll be honest. Then looking at the bullpen, they don't have the great pieces they used to have anymore in the bullpen. But they got a couple guys like Jake Bird, Justin Lawrence, who have been decent in the past, but nothing crazy in the bullpen. Let me take a look at the starting 9 of this team. And once again, it's interesting. I feel like this team has some okay players, but they just don't play great every single day, which is the problem. I mean, obviously, I feel like this team thrives in the outfield, to be honest, especially because you get Nolan Jones in left field, you get Doyle in center. You get a guy like Zach Veen or Jordan Beck to play that right field. You're looking pretty solid. And then you could have a Chris Bryant DH. I feel like those 4 players that's pretty good right there. Because we know what Nolan Jones can do. We've seen what Doyle could do in July. He absolutely was the player of the month, destroyed the baseball in that season. So the Rockies got a couple pieces like that. Outfield will be good. Obviously, Tovar's at short, so he's been pretty decent. But overall, it's not like crazy star players. And once again, you never know if some of these guys could get traded. Now that Charlie Blackmon is no longer here, it's definitely going to make it easier for some of the younger guys to get up. But yeah, so that's the current roster of this team. So if we take a look at the Rockies, they're actually 15th in attendance, which is actually really good. We do know Coors Field draws a lot of people. Obviously, with the new renovations is definitely helping them out. And still averaging 31,000 a game is still really good for this team compared to where they were with the whole, winning aspect. Yeah, definitely a solid attendance here, which is pretty normal for the Rockies. So definitely impressive on that side over there. If we take a look at the 2025 MLB draft lottery so far, obviously, the lottery is December 10th. We will be live for that on the channel. So if you want to join that stream, we'll be reacting to it live on the channel. Would definitely love to have you there. But once again, they're number 1 in the draft lottery. They got a 22.45% chance of getting the first round pick. So if I'm a Colorado fan, this is very exciting for us. Now, will they move down? Probably. I mean, we haven't really seen a team in this top 5 really get the number 1 pick. Like, it's always been another team that's got it. So, it's kind of unfortunate. They do have the best odds, though. And once again, we really don't know what's going to happen on December 10th. Crazy stuff has happened with the teams moving up and down, but it is definitely likely that they move down, even though they still have the highest odds. Yeah, we'll just wait and see. But if you're a Colorado fan, man, you got the number 1 pick so far in the lottery. Hopefully that translates to another number 1 pick in the draft, because then they could really take the best player. I mean, there's a really good draft class coming up with some of these high school and college players that the Rockies could really benefit from. So it'd be really cool to have them get the number 1 pick. Now, with my prediction of the 2025 Rockies, don't, think of anything crazy that's going to happen with this team. I think it'd be really good if they did not lose 100 games. I think that'd be a really good season for them. I think it's going to be a good season to see how the rookies do. I think this is going to be a good season for those players, and we'll kind of see how this team works without Charlie Blackmon in their lineup. So obviously a couple guys are going to have to take on some more load of that outfield and that hitting potential. But yeah, I think if you're a Rockies fan, you got to hope you get the number 1 pick, and you want to have a good upside moving on into the season with some of those rookie players and see who kind of shines in the 2025 season. But once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.